Fulani Herdsman wanted to cut my father's head, but he used his hand to protect his head. Olumide, the son of a retired principal, narrated. The Fulani Herdsman crisis in the Ibarapa area of Oyo State has been of serious concern to members of the public. Recently, a retired school principal, Mr. Ojedokun Ogumodede, he was attacked by a Fulani herdsman of his farm in Ibarapa. In an interview with Punch, his son, Olumide, narrated how the Fulani herdsman wanted to cut off his father's head, but his father managed to use his hand to block his head, and the Fulani ended up cutting his hand instead. Wow, this is so very appalling. He said that his father retired as a principal in 2016 and that he retired at Okeafo High School, Igangan, and after that he decided to concentrate on farming. Though he does not do the planting himself, he supervises it. According to Olumide, his father went to the farm on that fateful day and saw that a herdsman had brought his cows to graze on his farm, but his father prevented him from allowing his cows to destroy his crops. The herdsman did not argue, but unknown to his father, the herdsman took his cows to the hill to eat up the cassava he was drying up there. Olumide said that someone saw what the herdsman had done and went to his father to report it to him. There were some other people on the farm that day, so they decided to go in search of the herdsman. They spread themselves around and went in several directions, but what his father did not know was that the herdsman had hidden somewhere waiting for him. So the herdsman came out and descended on him. Olumide said the herdsman wanted to cut off his head, but his father used his hands to protect his head, so the herdsman cut his hand instead. He said his father's two hands were badly cut, but the cut on his left hand was more severe, that the left hand almost fell off. So his father started shouting, and when the herdsman realized that there were other people in the farm, he took to his heels. The others then came around and took his father to the police station at Igangan to make a report. When the police saw his father, they were shocked and asked someone to rush him to the hospital. He was asked if his father will be able to use his hand again, and Olumide said he can't say for now, that it is only God and the doctors that can say that. He said his father was taken in for surgery and that they are praying for him to be alright. The interviewer also asked him how his mother is taking this, seeing his father in this condition, and he replied that they are still grateful to God, because if the herdsman had succeeded in cutting his head, he might have died. Concerning the reason why Fulani herdsman crisis is still a serious problem in the Ibarapa area, Olumide said the matter is a serious one, and that it is even more serious because some Yoruba persons are sabotaging the efforts of those who are fighting to bring an end to the crisis. He alleged that the herdsmen have informants among the indigenes of the place. That is why it is very difficult to solve the problem. Some weeks ago, the Fulani herdsmen crisis in Ibarapa had attracted the attention of the entire Nigerians when the self-acclaimed freedom fighter Sunday Igboho issued an eviction notice to the Sakin Fulani of Igangan and his men in the area. Sunday Igboho alleged that the Fulani herdsmen were responsible for most of the atrocities going on in the area and asked them to leave the area. After the expiration of the 7 days ultimatum, which he gave them, he stormed Igangan with his supporters to evict the Shakin Fulani in Igangan and other herdsmen from the area. There was a clash between the two sides, which reportedly led to the death of several people and the destruction of several properties. The issue of open grazing has been of serious concern to many Nigerians in different parts of the country due to increasing rates of atrocities alleged to be committed by the killer herdsmen, and some areas have made moves to ban open grazing to tackle the problem. What do you think should be done to end the problem of Fulani herdsmen crisis in different parts of the country? As you contribute, please share. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Independent TV 7. This story is so very pathetic. The issue of open grazing has become so severe and deepened and eaten deep into Nigerians. The open grazing and Fulani herdsmen crisis started long ago in the northern part of Nigeria, but they never took cognizance of that until when the southwestern and from the south started, changing, and after south started reprising and doing the needful, started shouting out, because the northern people, they kept quiet. They started killing them. The Boko Haram killed them till that extent that they could not even say anything. But when the southern started shouting and making it known to the public that these herdsmen people, if care is not taken, they will destroy Nigerians and they will take over their land unjustly, until when it happened that way, till when the federal government now started. But the federal government still eat, the Yoruba would say, they eat deaf ear to the cry of the masses. But to God be the glory, the menace of the herdsmen will soon end by God's grace. To some people, the atrocious activities of these killer herdsmen should be tolerated in the spirit of one Nigeria. With this trend, Nigeria might end up being occupied by only Fulanis after they might have wiped out other tribes, which will not happen. That's why Sunday Igboho stood up for the Yoruba people that enough is enough. Let all the Kabiyesi in the area curse with Ashe all those who are sabotaging the effort of their people in chasing away these terrorist Fulani. If they can lay curse on them, then they will know where they stand when calls started eating up on them. Tomorrow some foolish Yorubas will shout one Nigeria. Can a Yoruba man try that kind of a thing in the north? No. The answer is no. You can't just dare that in the north. You come to someone's land and start occupying the land, and you start killing their own. The northern and will descend on you. Even in Lagos here, or in the southwest, if a Yoruba person, as it is that the northern are not the indigene of southwest as they are much, if an indigene of the southwest tramples on them, they will gather you like soldier ants. If care is not taken, they might even kill that person. Someone saying at Seyi Makinde, the governor should take responsibility because it seems he is not seeing the Fulani terrorist herders as an issue after his Hausa Fulani brethren visited him. Well, he might not see it now until when one of his relatives is being affected. Don't worry, I would like you to share your comments. Let's know what is going to happen thereafter, because on this issue of herdsmen, it must stop, and it must stop finally. Thanks for listening, and God bless.